Several years ago, my daughters, their husbands, Noreen and I, were lucky enough to travel en masse to Africa, where together we fulfilled a collective dream. We were embarking upon an excursion to hunt down as much wildlife as we could possibly find. And then, with steady aim and heartbeats racing, we'd shoot over and over again until our wide-eyed adrenaline rush was satiated. I should mention that what we were shooting was film, lots and lots of it. Nikons at the ready, endless rolls of 35mm Kodachrome stored in bandolero sashes, brand-new Banana Republic fatigues, clearly branding us as rookies. We all piled into a rickety, propeller-driven accident waiting to happen and took off into the wild blue above Africa. Once airborne, all but one of us quickly allowed the intense beauty of the landscape below to overwhelm our fear of gravity. We soared due south over northern Africa, down toward our camp at the end of the Okavango River. From high above, we couldn't help but marvel at the mighty flow of the Okavango as it gushed through the Botswana plains. Lush, vibrant, greener than your mind's eye could possibly imagine. The land below was exploding with life. I know it sounds silly, but the best way to describe the heavy greenery was as a setting for every cheesy Tarzan movie ever made. Miles later, as the Okavango thinned, the landscape slowly shifted. Further along our flight plan, the jungle gave way to an open, less tropical savanna environment that'd probably remind you of the Lion King. There's simply no way to remain cool when experiencing such a breathtaking high. "Look down below," commanded our pilot. "It's the end of the line." That was it. We were doomed. My morning's breakfast began thinking seriously about visiting the upholstery around me. Luckily for everyone involved, there was more to the pilot's sentence. This is where God decided to end the carpeting. I looked out the window, stared down at the land below, and indeed, in an almost perfectly straight line, all traces of green disappeared. There was truly a demarcation line between green and brown. The Okavango, which had earlier teemed so powerfully below us, had now run dry. This was indeed the end of the line. It was breathtaking, awe-inspiring, air sickness-inducing. Thankfully, our camp was below. Located amid plains, the Okavango's last gasp oasis of brush, greenery, and water, we were about to touch down amid a wildly populated gathering spot for all of the wildlife indigenous to the area. In essence, this last open plain could very well have sported the sign reading, "Last chance for water and/or wildebeest for the next 100 miles." Even without the hard sell, the customers herded, flocked, prided, and gaggled their way here from far and wide. Our camp was a sort of grand central station for the local food chain. We were thrilled, we were anxious, and we were one mistake away from becoming dinner. "Please listen," our guides intoned. "This is a dangerous place." We all smiled, raised our eyebrows, nudged each other's ribs. "All day long, we will be at your side and we'll keep you from doing anything that might get you into trouble, but at night, you're on your own. Once we set up camp for the evening, you must stay inside your hut. If you do go outside, you might not make it back in. You might be a midnight snack for a lion or a pack of hyenas. And if you do go outside and get into trouble, well, don't come calling for me. I'm not the crazy one. You are." And suddenly the giggles and bravado weren't so prevalent. Ashen stares and open mouths took their place. As you might imagine, that evening we all retired to our huts, closing the windows and doors quickly and securely before jumping into bed and remaining as still and silent as possible. Maybe a half an hour later, Noreen and I were still vainly trying to sleep and not get eaten when a foul, vaguely organic odor wafted our way. "Ew, take a Tums, will you please?" said Noreen, who was currently poking me, half asleep. "What? Oh, come on. No, it's not." I heard a loud, half-snorting, half-grumbling sound. "Hey, come on, you're snoring again, honey. Quit it," came her sleepily annoyed stage whisper. That wasn't me." "Well, then stop making that stupid noise trying to scare me." At that point, a loud noise that can best be approximated as shook the walls of the tent. "Bill, quit it. Right now. It's not funny." You see, normally I would have taken a moment to assure Noreen that it wasn't me shaking the tent with my bleating. Normally I would have reminded her to remain calm and silent. However, both of those options are a bit difficult to pull off when you can clearly make out the shape of an elephant's head as it presses lightly on the side of your tent. I think the brave and heroic comment I made was something along the lines of, "Oh, boy." "Shoo him," said the pillow next to me. "Shoo him. Perhaps I could get him to fetch the paper while he's at it." "Should we run?" "No, the guide said to stay put." "Yeah, but do you stay put if an elephant's about to sit on you?" Good point. Gingerly, I made my way to the window and lifted a flap. 1 square foot of elephant covered it entirely. I moved down the side of the tent to the next window, opened it, and was greeted by another square foot of elephant. I moved to the door now, unzipped it very slowly, very quietly stuck my head outside, squinted in the darkness, and realized that I was standing between the elephant's hind legs. My eyes widened. I opened my mouth to yell, but caught myself just in time to hear the elephant bleat again and crap on my head. I kid you not. Have you ever tried to remain still and quiet while an enormous pachyderm evacuated its bowels on your head? I'm guessing no. Let me tell you, it ain't easy. Imagine 20 gallons of mashed potatoes falling on your head at one time. Imagine the single stinkiest baby diaper you've ever encountered. Multiply that by 3 or 4 and you've got the idea. Imagine that as you stand there horrified, the elephant sighs, lifts its head, and dances away, pausing just long enough to take one quick backwards glance and, I swear, laugh at the direct hit. "Do you want to borrow a magazine?" I yelled at the elephant. Now imagine you're Noreen, still in bed, watching your hunky, studly husband turn from the doorway, covered head to toe in Dumbo poop. You laugh heartily until it suddenly dawns on you that neither of us can leave this tent before sunrise, and the only running water is way on the other side of the camp. I don't think I've ever watched a woman's smile turn into a look of utter horror quite that quickly. In the category of dumb little convention stories, just file this one under really, really dumb.